Monday, everyone. It is time to stop bad meetings. We are Dynamics, and I am Jenny Hensley. I am an effectiveness coach and co-owner, and we are coaches. We facilitate meetings, we help plan processes, and we do professional development. We started this live stream because we want to share some of the most often asked and most difficult things people struggle with when trying to make their time more effective and make their meetings more effective and open up time in their schedule. Last week I started with our revolution to stop bad meetings with part one of a 3-part series. I knew this was gonna happen. 1 second. She has to be part of the live cast. So part 2 today of creating an effective agenda. Last week I shared with you the number one thing is, first of all, do you really need to have a meeting? You can catch that episode on the past live stream or on our YouTube channel. And then the second piece was you should only have 3 to 5 agenda items. So you can look at all of that and the reasons why and all of the information behind it from last week's. This week we're going to get into, okay, now you have decided you do need to have a meeting and you've decided on your top 3 to 5 items. Now what? Number 1 is you need to have a centering for every meeting. That is the first activity of the meeting. The reason you need to have a centering is because it helps everyone get into the meeting, and no matter what happened to you, you have no idea what happened to somebody when they start a meeting. When they walk into a meeting, they could have had a horrible morning. You don't know what happened on the way to work. You don't know what happened before work. So you bring everybody together by having a centering activity. Now, this is not something that's warm and fuzzy and disconnected. It should be definitely connected to what you are accomplishing on the agenda. So I have a couple centering activities. Our number 1 centering activity that we use, especially with groups that are brand new and groups that need to work through some really difficult issues, or there may be some hidden issues, is hopes and fears. And I'm going to share all of these with you in posts following the live stream. But hopes and fears is you share with the group what is your number 1 hope for the meeting, and then what is your number 1 fear for the meeting. And you allow them time to think. We talked about that last week. Allow them time to write down some notes, and then you share those out and chart them. This is a great way to deal with issues that you may not know are going on. We have totally stopped meetings or totally thrown out and changed agendas based on this one centering activity. So I'll share more about that. That's hopes and fears. Maybe a quicker one, they could be super quick. One that we like recently is called hashtags. So you say, when you take a look at our agenda and you look at the topics that we're dealing with today, what is your hashtag for the meeting? And it's just like a hashtag. They can only have so many letters and you can limit those. But we had a really amazing experience with this when we were talking about graduation rate in a meeting. There were 30 people in the room, and the hashtags people shared and their care for kids just brought people to tears. It was such a great way to focus in, to bring kids into the room, to bring the topic into the room. So those are 2 centering activities. Again, we have hundreds of these on our website, but I will share these 2 with you in PDF form on after the live stream. Okay, so you've done a centering. Now, for each of your agenda items, you need to have a process. So you have your agenda item, which is your content, and then you need to have a way to gather the information you need from the group. So you've already identified why you have that on the agenda and what you need from the group. And I'm going to share 2 simple processes that we use. One is called around the room and back again. And this is a quick process. This process lets people hear many points of view, many people's thoughts on the topic. So you ask people a question surrounding the topic. whatever information you want from them. You ask them again to jot the notes down. Again, we do this all the time with the think time and the writing time, because so many people are introverts and aren't able to just off the cuff share their information. So giving them think time gives you better insights and more rich feedback. So once people have had time to share your question around the topic and write down their Post-it, we have everybody stand and we say, I'd like you to find a partner. We always ask them to find somebody they don't normally get to talk to. They find that partner and we give them maybe 30 seconds to share back and forth. That's what I mean. This is a quick one where you're gathering multiple ideas. So they'll share the idea back and forth, and then we'll say switch, and they'll share with somebody else, and we'll say switch, and they'll share with somebody else. So we'll do it. We may do it 10 times. They get to hear, you fill the room with all these ideas, you fill the room with all this input, their understanding, they get to hear from many, many different people, and then you reflect after that meeting. I mean, after they do the around the room and back again. So as a whole entire group, you share out. The next one that I want to share is called, now I've got another dog, poster walk. And I'm going to grab the other dog. Yes, everyone, I planned for this, but this is real life and this is what happens live. So the next one I wanted to share with you is called Poster Walk. And this one is for more in-depth information, gathering more in-depth information from people. So you do the same exact thing with the first round. Give them think time, let them write their thoughts. And usually it's around multiple topics. So let's say we have 4 topics we're gathering information on. They write 4 different Post-its. When everybody's done, they go and post those on posters around the room. Then you divide the groups, and the groups go to each poster. They go to each poster and they read all of the thoughts of the poster. They add to the poster, and then they switch to the next one. So everybody gets to provide input on every single topic. Everybody gets to see the things that every group has written. And then when you get back to the original group, that group summarizes and shares out the information that they've gathered. So around the room and back again, and poster dialogue or poster walk are 2 processes. Again, we have hundreds of processes. It's not those specific processes, but the idea that you need to have a way for each of the agenda items for you to gather feedback from the group. So the 2 things today were centering, bring the group together in a meaningful way around content, and to have a process for each of your agenda items. This will keep you on track. This will make sure that everybody gets a chance to participate. And then we can stop bad meetings together. Hashtag stop bad meetings, please. And also, if you share this, we'll share a free article with you about creating an agenda. And next week, we will have part 3 and the final in this series for creating an effective agenda. Sorry, everybody, about the dogs, but they're in a mood. Have a great Sunday and a great start to your week.